Our next speaker is Satish Shenoy, a global executive with leadership experiences across businesses of all sizes, from Fortune 500 companies to early stage Silicon Valley startups. He has lived in 4 countries across 2 continents, traveled to over 50 countries, and doing business in at least 30 of them. Satish has advised startups to help them achieve product market fit and scaling them up from zero to multi-million-dollar businesses. He is a member of the exclusive 7-Continent Club, having run at least 1 full marathon across every continent, including Antarctica. Having accomplished this goal, his mission is to help others navigate the challenges to change the impossible to I'm possible. And with that, his talk is all about possible. Satish, the virtual stage is yours.
Impossible. That's a word that keeps going through my mind. Because back in 2012, when I first shared my goal and dream of running a marathon across every single continent, many people laughed at me. They said, "You know, a marathon is really challenging, and you want to run a marathon across every single continent, including Antarctica? Are you out of your mind?" Have you had anybody say that your dream was impossible or your goal was impossible? Did you believe them even for just a minute? If so, you know what I was going through back in 2012. Now, fast forward to 2020, we are in the midst of a COVID crisis. Hundreds of thousands of people have lost their lives, and hundreds of thousands more have lost livelihoods. While my challenge in 2012 may pale in comparison to the challenges and uncertainties of today, I still believe some of the lessons and insights I'm about to share with you will truly be helpful to you to overcome some of the challenges, or at least get you closer to the goals that you have in mind. Taking just one more step is one of those insights that I learned that helped me get to the goal that seemed impossible at first. And then leveraging the power of mentors and changing my mindset really helped me get closer and closer to that goal and accelerate my learning so that I achieve those goals. Now let's first talk about mindset. In her groundbreaking book, Mindset, by Dr. Carol Dweck, she describes that people with a growth mindset believe they can learn, they can grow, they can adapt, and they can succeed by having that growth mindset. While people that have a fixed mindset really are not open to learning or adapting and growing. Which one are you? Which mindset do you have? Back in 2012, when far from running marathons across the world, I couldn't even run a mile in my backyard. And really, at that point, I didn't have any hope. One day, my cousin comes up to me. He says, "Hey, you want to run a couple of miles with me?" And I said, "Me? No, not me, not yet." But then he said something that helped me change my mindset. He said, "If you don't want to run, just walk." And what I surmised from that statement was, if you cannot really think about your run, just take one more step and you'll get closer to that goal. And so that's exactly what I did. So 2 miles turned to 4 over the next week, 4 turned to 8. And before I know it, over the next year, I had hundreds of miles under my belt. And over the last 7 years, I have, between the marathons, the half marathons, and countless 10Ks, I probably have closer to 6,000 miles under my belt. And that's the equivalent of running from coast to coast in the US, going from the West Coast to the East Coast and right back to where you started. Is there something in your life you can change by that change in mindset, that subtle change? Is there something that you told yourself that you cannot do, only to change that when you took just one more step? Now let's talk about the power of mentors. When it comes to mentors, broadly speaking, I believe there are two kinds of mentors. First is the silent mentors, those that inspire you to get you going. And when I think about these silent mentors in the world of running, I think of Charles Smith. Charles Smith ran 7 marathons in 7 days across 7 continents, and she is 70 years old. I learned about Charles through books, through podcasts, through videos, through news articles. And this is the power of silent mentors. They're out there and really inspire you. Now, with Charles Smith, when I heard about her, I thought, if she can do that at 70 years old, what's my excuse? So the question to you is, are there silent mentors in your life that you're not accessing, that you're not tapping into? What's your excuse? Now let's talk about the other kind of mentors, which is active mentors. When I started running my first marathons, what happened was I ran San Francisco, which is one of the hardest marathons in the world. Now, San Francisco has a lot of ups and downs. And so as I got through the first part of the race, I did great. But as I was getting to mile 23, I started feeling serious cramps in both my legs. Here I am hunched on the side of the road when this lady comes up to me and she says, "Hey, how you doing? Are you okay?" I said, "No, I'm in a lot of pain. I don't think I can make it. There are 3 miles left, but I don't think I can make it. It's just too painful." She said, "Relax." And over the next few minutes, she started talking to me. And she ultimately said the magic words. She said, "Take just one more step and we will get there. I'll hold your hands. Let's go across that finish line." When I still resisted, she told me something that I remember to this day. She said, "Run if you can, walk if you must, crawl if you have to. Never, never, never give up." Now, over the next few years, after successfully completing San Francisco, I did go on to a number of other marathons across the rest of the continents, but I still remember that lady who helped me turn the corner and really get me on that journey of my marathons. I call her my sponsor because she was there to lift me up when I needed that help. Now, with all the rest of the marathons, I really had to apply myself in terms of the lessons I learned, whether it was planning, execution, and perseverance. So I was able to successfully cross that finish line when it mattered. Now, the final pièce de résistance of my marathon was Antarctica. And so Antarctica does take a different mindset from both, mental, but also physically. It's a very challenging marathon. But the bigger challenge with Antarctica was getting there, because the roughest seas in waters in anywhere in the world is between Argentina and Antarctica. The dreaded Drake Passage. 15 to 20-foot waves, very choppy seas, takes you about 2 days to get there, very risky. Lots of ships have gone down in that body of water. And so here I was trying to break this news to my wife that this is going to be a risky journey. But she floors me when she says, "Hey, I know it's your dream. I know you want to go there for a long time. And so you make that decision. I know you will use the right judgment and make the right call from a safety standpoint for yourself, but also the prosperity of our family. You make that decision, and I'm there with you. Now, that kind of mentor is who I call a cheerleader or a supporter, because she's there unconditionally supporting me no matter what. Do you have those cheerleaders you should reach out to if you're not already? Because they could really help you in those times of need when you want to go up against some odds that seem insurmountable. As you navigate a once in a lifetime crisis, I hope these lessons that I've shared with you are going to be helpful to you. The notion of changing your mindset, the need to engage mentors, both silent mentors and active mentors. Perhaps you've been looking for a job for a number of months, and maybe you even quit looking for a job because you are tired. Maybe you want to start writing a new book, or maybe start a new business. Is there just one more step you can take to reach out to that contact on LinkedIn that may be able to get you to that next job, or write a paragraph or a title for your book, or even reach out to that someone you looked up to before that can probably guide you on your business? No matter what you decide and what your challenge is, take just one more step, and trust me, you'll change the impossible to I am possible. Take that one more step, won't you?